He's Rich Eisen, NFL Network host, The Rich Eisen Show. He joins us now. What do you remember about that Herschel Walker deal?
Oh, gosh, I remember it was shocking that number one, that the Cowboys would trade their top talent like that, and then they would get so much back for him. And then I do remember the answer was in the same part of the question was the same way that we're looking at the current Browns in a way. It's just like, okay, now you have all these draft picks. You have to cash them into actual human beings to win. How will you be able to do that? And just obviously with Paulie mentioning Emmitt Smith, you could have pretty much stopped there. Then you throw Darren Woodson into the mix, and being a teammate of Michael Irvin's, as I've been for a few years, he will mention that every now and then as a big moment as well for the team when they were building it with him, and how huge that was. But in all honesty, it is still a quarterback-driven league, and without Aikman, none of that would have happened. So the fact that they got the first overall pick in the process with Aikman, put it all together, and you got yourself a dynasty.
Speaking of quarterbacks, here's our poll question. McLovin, give the poll question to Rich. Brought to you by Travel Channel.
If you could have either of these two QBs for the next 5 years, Wentz or Newton, who do you got?
I do Wentz. Cam's taken too many hits. Too many hits. Look, last week was tremendous for Cam Newton to go into Detroit for a big game where the winner emerges 4-1 with a nice, big, huge step forward in the conference that is wide open. Certainly coming off the week that he had, maybe he was weighed down by all the yogurt. So yogurt-free, he went and threw 3 touchdowns and 300-some-odd yards, one of his best games. But Wentz is younger. Wentz is not taking as many hits, although Lane Johnson is out tonight. I am genuinely concerned about that. I would take Wentz, though.
Yeah, that's the majority would take Wentz as well. I don't know what Wentz can become. I know what Cam can become. Can he sustain that? But, he's played at an MVP caliber level. Winning it as rookie year was one of the great rookie seasons we've ever seen with a quarterback. It feels like Carson Wentz's high may not be as high as Cam Newton, but his low is not going to be as low as Cam Newton's.
I don't know. You look at what Wentz has done with now 2 different completely offensive personnel sets, and he just keeps winning. Now, last year he went 2-8 with Lane Johnson out when Johnson had a 10-game suspension, and it was a big difference. Now, when Johnson went out in the second half of the game against the Cardinals last week, Wentz just kept on keeping on, and that might be, more of an indication of what was going on with the Cardinals in that game.
Yeah.
We'll find out tonight. I'm really, really looking forward to tonight. It hits all the buttons with the record. Obviously, your poll question indicates the high level of interest in both of these quarterbacks. Playmakers that are on fantasy teams all over the place. I'm really fired up for tonight.
How do you explain what's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, I took a look at it just yesterday, as a matter of fact, and they're not running the ball. Defensively, they are as good as anybody. They're number one in passing defense. I don't believe you're going to be able to throw very, very well on them. The Chiefs, though, certainly should be able to run the ball on them, and Le'Veon Bell's got to get going. I think it is just maybe an indication of the fact that he held out. And he's still trying to get his sea legs under him, and the whole team is just a little bit off kilter because they haven't had enough time to be together, even though, the big three has been together, and they've got Bryant back. They should be fine. I think they lose in Kansas City. They're 3-3. There'll be a lot of hand-wringing, but after that, I think they'll put their foot in the ground and start winning some games and win that division, thanks to that defense, because the offense is only going to have to get better. But they're just not running it. Le'Veon Bell just 14 carries last week against the Jacksonville team that was punked him, just absolutely punked him. So I do believe, like I said, 3-3. There'll be a lot of hand-wringing, but they'll be fine after that.
He's Rich Eisen, the NFL Network host of the Rich Eisen Show on Audience, Channel 239 that follows this one. Jeff Bridges, the Academy Award-winning Jeff Bridges, will be on the program today. The Big Lebowski.
Yes, we'll definitely talk with him about that. I love that movie. It was on the other night. It's a remote drop for me, and it's from John Goodman to John Turturro and Buscemi, and then him as the Big Lebowski. But I also want to talk to him about his dad, who is in Airplane. And that's the way I was watching the Yankees-Indians game last night. I picked the wrong week to stop drinking and smoking and sniffing glue.
Sniffing glue.
One of those intense nights. But I just want to hit him on his dad and his movies and whatever sports he has.
Because that he knows you're going to hit the topic of the Big Lebowski, right?
I think so.
Now, did you have to? Is that one of those? Because sometimes a PR person will say, "Hey, whatever you do, don't go there," and then you go, "Boy, I want to go there, and I can't."
Yes, Dan, you're a veteran of the interviewing business, no doubt about it. Some people don't like talking about some of their old stuff, but then some just love it. Some love it. I imagine any question that doesn't have the words Harvey and Weinstein in it is something he'll be happy about. So,
are you going to bring up Harvey Weinstein?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Did you?
I don't even know if Jeff worked with Harvey Weinstein.
I
had Tyler Perry on, and I didn't ask him about Harvey Weinstein.
No, I mean,
it's not in our world there that I'm not familiar with it. I don't want to have somebody telling a sports audience about Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, so and that's what I think. Shows like yours and mine, when a celebrity comes on, you talk a little sports and some pop culture. Because to me, the Big Lebowski is as popular in our culture as sports. It really is. I mean, you talk to sports with somebody who loves the Big Lebowski, and it sounds the same when you talk about passionately on both subjects.
But as much as I love Jeff Bridges, I didn't like the Big Lebowski.
Oh, Dan.
I know. I don't know why.
Dan, really? Have you watched it multiple times?
Yes. Yeah, I've tried.
Oh, come on.
I tried.
Wow.
I don't know, and I think Jeff Bridges is one of the great actors we have of our generation, and you have the other supporting cast in there. John Goodman's great. But,
you don't roll on Shabbos.
It's not one of my favorite movies. I know.
It's a little disjointed. It's a little bit psychedelic from time to time. It's out there.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah.
If I had to go my favorite Coen Brothers movie, I'd go Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
That would be my favorite one with Nicolas Cage.
Holly Hunter.
Goodman's in that one too.
Yes. Yeah.
If I had to rank the Coen Brothers, I'd go Raising Arizona 1.
Blood Simple is pretty good.
2.
Blood Simple, I think, might have been there.
Fargo would be in that mix too.
Yeah, I'd put Fargo up there too. Francis McDormand was awesome.
Did I lose you?
No, we're here.
Hello.
Right. Hello. Tell Rich.
That's what you get when you say you don't like the Big Lebowski.
That's what Rich gets for saying he loved the Big Lebowski.
That's
Fritzy. Just tell Rich thank you. We're up against the break.
He's trying to.
Oh, that's right. Me. Hello. Well, Rich is listening in his car. Rich, your phone dropped out there. But thank you for joining us in Rich Eisen Show coming up at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on Audience Channel 239 with Jeff Bridges. And watch Rich ask questions about the Big Lebowski.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.